Video showing you how to solve an equation with a TI-84. There's a couple ways. I think graphing is probably what you mainly go for, so I'll start with that. You go to y equals and enter the left side of the equation, 4x to the third, arrow to get out of that exponent, plus 6x, and then hit enter because we're graphing just the left side, and then on the second line y equals 2. Go to your graph and you can see there's an intersection, and if you know enough about cubics, you can see there's only going to be one intersection because it's going up forever and going down forever. Then we're calculating the intersections, that's second calc, and intersects a choice, number 5. It asks you for the first curve, and you can see that it's blinking on the cubic. If I arrow up or down, it will go between the things in the y equals list. So just choose one of them, hit enter. It goes to the other one, hit enter again, and it asks for a guess. If there's multiple intersections, you can move the cursor close to the intersection first, or you can just hit enter and see what it does. And there's the answer. So the solution to the equation is the x value. Wow, that's large. It's the x value here. As you can see there, I've done this in the previous video with an Inspire, and 0.313, that's the same answer, so it works just as well. There is another way, not what I meant, to do this. I need to get better at this, huh? And that is with a solver. Now the solver command on a TI-84 requires that you set the equation equal to 0 first, which is one of the reasons you might choose not to do it. Every step you take before you pick up the calculator is a step where you might have done something stupid and wrong. But if you choose, if I set that equal to 0, I can go to, see if I can remember how to do this, the solver, which I'm pretty sure is in the math. I need to get to the right calculator though. In the math menu. So let me quit out and go math. And I think it's at the bottom here. And wow, there's so many things. Solver. I went too far. Well, that's okay because it's actually easier to get there by going up in the first place. So I'll choose solver. And notice it starts out with 0 equals. You've got to have it set equal to 0. Also, the only variable you're allowed to use is x. So 0 equals 4x to the third power, arrow to get, nope, I don't need arrow to get out of that, plus 6x, and minus 2, enter. And then it asks me this, and that number, is that the right answer? Well, yeah, it is. You won't always see what you want here. There's a solve command. Let's see if I can find it on here. Oh, there's right there. That is alpha solve. So if you want it to look for a second answer, for instance, you might need to tell it to look in a different interval. Right now it's looking between -1 times 10 to the 99th, which is its version of negative infinity, and then +1 e99. That's 1 times 10 to the 99th. That's the biggest number the calculator can handle, so it's looking between those. If you want it to guess someplace, like you know it's supposed to be a negative answer, you can actually type in, let's say, -10, and then do alpha solve. So what goes there is a guess. And alpha solve will then, yeah, it takes me back to the same answer. It's only really the one. I think it's good to know about the solver, but honestly, if it were me, I'd be using the graph. I just find it easier to deal with and easier to understand. The same thing works if you're using the color version with the better resolution, but it works exactly the same way. So for the graph, we put in 4x to the, okay. Sorry, sometimes I forget that I can't just type numbers on this, I have to press buttons. So there's that one, here's y equals 2, here's the graph. The intersection is still calc, second calc, intersect, bam, bam, bam. There's the answer. The reason it says y2 equals 2 right there is because that's the last curve my cursor was on, even though at the intersection, clearly the whole point is that's on both the curves. And then the other version, the solver thing, if I quit back out, it is, we don't need those things. It is once again the math menu at the bottom, which it's actually easier to go up on. It's called numeric solver here because they add more characters, I guess. This time it allows you to do E1, E2. That's expression 1 equals expression 2, so I don't have to set it equal to 0 apparently. If I type 4x to the third plus 6x here, and then on the next one just type in a 2, which of course this could be a much more complicated expression than 2, and then say OK. There, it's done the same thing. And I realize that it looks a little different, but I'm pretty sure if I also, guessed something that's wrong, and then did solve, which is now just an enter. Nope, sorry, cursor needs to be in the right field, I think. And then, nope, she's wrong. Alpha solve. Here we go. So it is alpha solve. Maybe this button does it. Let me try. So this sometimes might mean the last thing on the right. No, F5. Okay, it must be alpha F5. Really, alpha solve will do that. And I'm sorry I'm not that good at this calculator. But I hope that helps you.